Mr. Burley at St. Elizabeth Catholic School. Previously we had extruded this shape. Today I'm going to show you how to customize a little bit better. This is perfectly perpendicular, which we all know their cars aren't like that anymore, perhaps back in the Model 8 Ford days. And same with here, we got all straight edges. I'm going to show you how to blend them off and smooth things out. So the first thing we do is click Extrude, Placement, define it. We want to define the front datum plane, Sketch, and I'm going to bring it into my view. I'm going to hold down the Alt key now, and I'm going to click the Line tool, and you'll notice there's a couple of different tools. I'm going to click Line Chain. Now, holding down the Alt key, something a little bit new in Creo, is you hold down the Alt key. You used to click View, Sketch References. Now you click on this, and you're going to actually click on this button here until you see it just drew it. Escape. It's got my sketch reference going across there. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and go down to here and create another sketch reference. So now you see I've created two sketch references, one there and one there, just by holding down the Alt key and clicking. It takes a little getting used to, but it's certainly much easier than going View, Sketch References each time. So now I'm going to draw an angle. Now, most cars will come to about here and down, but I'm going to bring it over just to be a little bit more dramatic. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to come down to about there, and I'm going to click back up here. I'm going to click AB, Standard, and you can see my triangle. Now I'm going to click the OK feature that I'm done it. Then I'm going to grab this and drag this along like this. Now, if you look in back here, you notice that my solid is past the back end, so it means it's going to cut the whole thing. What you can do is you can play with some of these. Mirror image it. If it's not long enough, just mirror it like that, and then you can drag it out. So now it's the whole length of the car. Now, if I clicked OK right now, this bar would become part of the car, but I don't want it to become part of the car. I want to actually use it as a cutting surface. But at any rate, play with some of these around here, and you'll see the different. There's extrude up to, mirror him, so on and so forth. Now, I want to do here is I want to come up, and this will actually change the directions of it too. You can play with that one. This one here, you come up here and you click Remove Material. When I do that, you'll see it's used that previous thing to slice right off. I'm happy with that. I think it looks good. I'm going to click OK. It looks kind of nice. It looks like maybe a NASCAR. So now what I want to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to do some round edges. Now that right there, I'm going to change it to 3. And I'm going to come along here and I'm just going to follow these little lines, and you'll see it create a nice radius. So I'm going to click that guy. There's a radius. Now I can change it. Once I do that, I can change the radius to something a little bit more realistic if I wanted to. I could make it huge, play around with it a little bit. I don't know, I kind of like that. That looks kind of neat. And I'm going to come along here and I'm going to go 3. Which changes it back. I'm going to click on this guy. I'm going to follow this 3 millimeters all the way up. 3 millimeter radius all the way up. Let's take it. You'll see down there. Come back across. I'm going to take it right down. No, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take it to there. I think that looks kind of neat. If I click check mark now, and sometimes it takes a couple of times. You might go to click the check mark and it might come up and say it's not working. That's because the radiuses are too big for whatever we're trying to do, or they're not blending in right. So sometimes it takes a couple of attempts. You can also use the chamfer tool. Say you wanted to come up here and you wanted to put a bit of an angle on this thing, just a little bit larger. I could do something like that and put a chamfer on it. If you don't like what you've done, you just undo it. I'm going to change, you see this sharp edge along this corner. I'm going to do the same thing. I put a nice little 3 millimeter radius right along there because I think that'll look much nicer. Click OK. So there's my car blended off. I'm not entirely happy with what this is here. I could go back and change it. Basically, that's the end of the. I might consider going all the way back and extending this down further in my triangle. My triangle was too high, but for my demonstration purposes, that works fine. So there's how to add the model. I'm going to add something actually along here too before we go. Let's put a chamfer right there. You see this? I'm just going to take this thing down. Something like that maybe. Just put a chamfer on the front of the car. No, I'm not. I think that looks ridiculous. Go back. I'm going to put a nice round spot on it. Maybe just a little, maybe 3 millimeter. Yeah, 3 millimeter looks nice. So there we go. I might also consider putting another little radius on the top of here because, you know, that's never perfectly perfect like that. But maybe this time I just want to do a 2 millimeter. Okay. So that's how you play with the car. You modify. You can come back. You can leave this all square at the back if you like to. Okay, AB, standard. Of course, we're going to save it. Hopefully not overwriting my existing file. We're saving the previous one.